Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since we've got a video up. We have had one pretty wild and interesting turkey season. Those videos will be up soon, but I got a lot of editing, I got a lot of footage I need to go through. So for the time being, as I'm prepping for things to come, I'm going to do one of the most requested videos that I've kind of seen out there and give you my how-to. So today we got the Cruzr Seeker platform. Alright, this platform, just first impression, very light. You know, you can see how good it was machined and how durable it's going to be as far as use. Of course, I will do a full-on out, get in, set up and stuff later. Now, the first thing I recommend after you put this together is to take and work this, if it's not already together. Just work this, because you're going to see a little bit of stuff here coming loose from the machining, and that's normal. That's perfect. That means this machine is tied as close as it can be, so it's going to give you more of a solid platform. Now, what we're going to do today is it's got this crazy silver look to it. That's not bad, but I want this thing painted, so I'm going to show you what to do as far as prepping it and getting it ready. So I'm going to set this here. I'm going to use some engine degreaser. What this is going to do is going to pull the oil and all like the grit and the grime out of the corners. You know, if there's some shavings or anything like that in there, it's going to clean this up and give us a really nice clean surface to get that primer to lay on. And what I'm going to do after spraying that down, I'm just going to kind of, you know, clean it up. You know, nothing crazy. I mean, I'm sure you could use a wire brush. This is what I had laying around. So, you know, just clean anything out and get these little grooves. Now, I do recommend you wear some safety glasses, possibly gloves if you have really sensitive skin. I have glasses covering my eyes, just so if this stuff swings around, you don't want to get it in your eyes. Can actually, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you can actually see some of the stuff that I got cleaned off there as far as how dark it is and how light it is right there. So that's showing you that's working out pretty well. So just a little update for you. It was a little more humid than I thought. You know, I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 hours to dry. So really about an hour max. And then I took a towel and then I just kind of just checked all the corners and everything, dried it up really well, just made sure. Now when you're doing that, make sure you don't get any little sheds of towel or whatever that pull off on some of these edges. I did have to grab a couple of those that just kind of pulled off the towel. So, and of course, as you see, there's a turkey standing back here while I'm doing this video. But anyway, now I'm going to try to prime it. So the thing is, when you're priming something, if you're thinking, well, I'm going to make it a brown color, a green color, something like that, you want the opposite for a primer most of the time. So you want a lighter primer for darker colors, or you want a darker primer for lighter colors. Like if you were going to use it, you know, say in a more snowy environment, or more white oak trees or something, you know, just kind of the way your terrain looks. So let me grab that. So the primer I'm using right here, Rust-Oleum, it's a clean metal primer. You'll use it on bare, painted, or lightly rusted metal for the ultimate finish. But I like that clean metal primer because it will adhere to it a lot better than your normal primers. There's a little hair right there. So we're going to drop this on there. Now, if you're not wanting to get your teeth to sink into the tree, which are already black, painted or primed or part of the process, go ahead and take those off now. So when you're hitting it with primer, a lot of times you just kind of want to dust it, and you want to do just light coats all around until you get that coverage. But you do want a nice solid base foundation of primer laying, so then you can make it the color you want it, and it'll look a lot better. Now don't just hold this trigger down. If you hold this trigger down, you're going to get a lot of runs as far as the paint running. It's not going to matter hunting, but you just, if you want that look, just make sure you take your time and dust it. So as you see, I was working on the bottom as far as the primer. We still hadn't made it to paint. Sun's down, it's getting kind of later. So my thought was, well, how am I going to get this to dry a little bit quicker for this video? Wagner Heat Gun. I've used this thing for a lot of gun wraps and stuff like that. Used to do a lot of Cerakoting and Duracoating and stuff. I really like this because you can see how that lays on there whenever you heat it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to run the heat gun around on it a little bit, and you know, try not to stay in one spot so long because it'll get that primer and stuff to kind of wrinkle. So we'll just kind of throw the heat gun to it a little bit. We'll throw one more light dusting on it. Maybe I'm going to check the other side. But as far as this is how far we've made it. This is in the primer stage. So what we've done, we have thrown some degreaser on it. We've scrubbed it down with a good toothbrush. You know, let it set, dry. Towel dried it. After that, come out, checked it. We lightly coated it with primer. Now we're throwing the heat gun to it as the suns went down, and we're gonna save the paint for tomorrow as the weather gets better. But a couple things, you know, maybe not do it outside, you know, on the porch or whatever, but it's fine because I got this, you know, plenty of space, no one close by, so you don't get any overspray on a house or anything like that. Just make sure that it's in a well ventilated area. Like I said earlier, you know, make sure you got some safety glasses on when you're playing with that degreaser, and if you got sensitive skin, maybe, you know, even wear some gloves. If you're kind of in a more close place, if you're doing this in a gym, or not a gym, a garage, a shed, or something like that, then make sure you've got a ventilator on as well. You don't want to breathe all that stuff in while you're painting. So we're going to throw a little heat to this thing. You know, as you see, you don't got to get real close or anything like that. This thing gets pretty hot, actually. This has been a very useful tool for multiple things that you would not even imagine. And you can kind of see that cast and stuff just kind of showing through, and then you can see it drying. You can physically see it dry onto there. So that means it's a good, nice base coat. Check your corners, because even if you got them drying, I can see a little one right there. It's got a little thick, and this heat gun will just push it around and kind of flatten it out as well. Had some small little puddles there that I'm really focused on, just kind of pushing them out. And then too with this, if you got any little hairs or something, maybe that's come off a microfiber towel or whatever, you know, you can kind of see them, and then it dries them out a little bit where you can just pick them off without it affecting the look of it. So we finally got nice enough weather to get back on the Seeker platform. So first color we're going to go with is a little bit of camouflage olive. Then I also have camouflage khaki, and I'm just using the Krylon flat, ultra flat finish, non-reflective. And then I have some camouflage brown. All right, and then what I've done, I took a piece of construction paper and made myself a tear. We're gonna see how this turns out. I'm gonna base coat it with the olive because I want that to be my main color. As you see, there's some wind going that way, so I'm gonna kind of shift. As you can see, I got some paint blowing that way, so I'm going to take a moment and let that calm down a little bit, and then I'm going to throw some coats on it. I'll kick this back on. We'll see what kind of coats we got on there. As you can see, I got this thing in all green. Looks good. So far, so good. I mean, looks real good. So since I've got one coat on it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to move it. Some of these moving parts, make sure that it kind of wears that paint down a little bit so we don't get it stuck. Okay, so that looks really good, that flat green, just the prep and everything. There's a few little hairs and stuff left on it from the towel and drying it, but I'm going to put it here. Now I'm going to alternate that brown and that khaki using my little thing here. As you see, I'm just using this little pattern. I'm just putting little stripes here and there, so give it a little bit different of a look. And of course, whenever I'm painting, the wind starts as heavy as it can go. That's just how things go for me every time. So let's let that calm down a little. As you see, I'm getting to fight with this stuff over and over. Fun, fun. Now I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do a couple other colors. Then I will take a little video and show you what we come up with. So I finally got the khaki on there. I done pattern on the bottom of brown and khaki, pattern on the top brown and khaki. It's drying right now, but I'm excited to show you guys what it looks like as a finished product. And there's your step-by-step. Of course, you can use whatever colors you like, but this is what it looks like, and I'm really digging it, so check it out. And you know, you can see these little hairs and stuff that you can pick off, you know, that might have gotten your paint. Of course, this because I'm doing this outside, so perfect though. That thing looks great. Well, there's your how-to on the Cruzr Seeker, and let's get that thing painted up to your liking. Till next time.